What's up everybody? It's Phil from Zaid Comics. I'm the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop, which is live now in demand on Indiegogo, and just one half of the two best looking brothers in all of comics. And today we're back with a comic review, doing the Mayhem series. Now we've been taking a look at 1989's Mayhem comic, specifically for the first story that is in the kind of anthology or the serialization of Mayhem. This is by Darkhorse, and the first story, of course, being The Mask. Probably the reason why you clicked on this video. So there are 3 previous videos, because there's 4 issues of Mayhem, and this is the final issue of Mayhem, but not the final part of the story. It goes on, they have a little ending here, but it will continue with The Mask, and an awesome long run into the 90s, leading to an amazing, box office hit movie, and many more iterations of the Mask comic. But let's get into it. This is, of course, by John Arcudi and Doug Mahnke, or Mankey, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a badass. And look at this awesome cover by, we'll actually check who it's by, but, the Mask, the Mayhem started with The Mask on the first issue cover, and it is on the 4th issue cover, and The Mask is on the 4th issue cover, of course. Now this mask face is basically the mask face that Doug puts in the title, kind of the logo of the mask. Let's see, we can see cover artist Mitch O'Connell. Shouts to Mitch. And there's that mask head. Basically the same one that was on the cover. But like I said this in the previous issue, I love how they do the little montage in the background, kind of like opaque. And a little scene, a panel from the upcoming story, and a synopsis to catch up any new readers if this is the first issue they have picked up. So let's get into this final kick. Where we left off, the Mask did steal a police car with a criminal who was in the back. So he is going on a killing spree here, and as we'll find out soon, he's trying to hunt down the last person that ever did him wrong, that ever did Stanley Ipkiss wrong, which was a guy that owes him $60, which is totally like the Mask. Yeah, straight into the first page, we see his snarky attitude. A very comedic, great facial expression here. This very shadowed, almost silhouetted mask outline. And we go back to Calloway and talking to Kathy, who is Stanley Ipkiss's girlfriend. There just had been a slaughter. The apartment building basically torn apart by Stanley on his rampage, killing a bunch of cops and stealing that cop car. And this is where Kathy kind of puts 2 and 2 together. She said, ever since he's bought me that stupid gift, he's been acting weird. And she put 2 and 2 together, and she figures out that Stanley is the big head killer, because she doesn't know where the mask is either. She can't find the mask. And so she basically doesn't want to tell Calloway. She wants to get down to the bottom of this herself. And we see the Mask driving through a grocery store to pick something up, and pays for it hilariously and leaves. Man, what lousy service. I'll never shop there again. And this guy is freaking out in the back. This guy who was arrested in the back seat of the police vehicle. And look at all this, great background detail by Doug, putting all these, little cans and cereal boxes and all that. Glass shattering, just great, great art. And I can't stress enough the lettering in this book. This lettering is so unique with the way the Mask speech bubbles appear here, and the font, handwritten, of course. This is 89, you got to remember. Handwritten letters, totally different font from everybody else's in the comic. And we see here that he finds the guy that owes him $60. Calloway and his partner, I think this is Lionel, unless Lionel comes later, but trying to figure out where the Mask is, and we cut back to him chasing down the guy that owes him $60, comically running away from the car and unfortunately gets ran over while Calloway and his partner are pulling up. They want to, or Calloway wants him to basically pit maneuver the big head, and his partner's like, what about the guy in the back seat? We're going almost 90 and they're gonna crash. And so he's like, do it anyways, and boom, crashes into the wall, and they take a breather, but chunk, the mask is instantly on the offensive, giant battle axe in hand. Look at this. These just character figure drawings are so cool, very cartoony, keeping that spirit of the mask alive. And this is where it started. This is why I think Mayhem and these first 4 issues are so important, because Doug and John were laying a foundation for a character that had an awesome long run, so much so it was turned into a movie. And just when you think the mask is down, falls off the car, because they take off running, crash into another car, he falls off. They get another breather, and there's that flamethrower, man. He's got a flamethrower and a freaking Tommy gun, murdering these cops. And this is a point where I'm like, wow, he just doesn't care. He's just killing everyone. And this is such so much action and so cartoony. It started all here. Very interesting how they didn't go with the cartoon, or the more violent aspect for the film. Of course, you would get less of an audience. If you did do that, you would probably have to bump it up to a R rating, or I'm not sure if the mask is PG or PG-13, because I know back then, definitely in the 80s, they were really loose with the rating system. I'm not sure how loose when, like, was that 1993 when the mask came out, but it did amazingly. Look at this face. And basically he just massacres everyone. There's no one on the force that could do anything against the mask, and he just has his way with the city, runs off, climbs out into the sewer system, and finds another cop, like a beat cop. And I love this, sing a little song, a little dance, a little ammo down your pants, and just like with that Uzi, just fires away and throws that Uzi down, and yeah. And then getting to the final page here, he says, "Oh, Stan, I think it's time we skip town." He throws the mask on the bed, and then boom, 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 gets blown away. I was shocked at this moment, and I'm like, Stan, he took the mask off and Stan's just got shot and killed? Like, he would have to instantly get the mask back on to be healed, but he is blown away, and you see the last splash panel. Oh, man. Kathy wearing the mask here. Whew. Wow. Sorry, Stan, but I think I'm not going anywhere after all. So it's the mask. This is, at this point, John is basically telling the reader that this mask has a mind of its own, and this is the first time we've seen it on anyone else besides Stan. So ending it here opens up the floodgates of possibility of where this character, where this IP, this franchise could go, because it doesn't just work with Stan. It could go on a chick, It could go on anyone. What would this mask be in the hands of a hulking villain, a criminal? And that's what they explore in future issues. So I think this was a great way to end it, this little mini series here. If you guys haven't read it, definitely check it out. I would implore you to check out the Mask Omnibus. They got 2 volumes, and this is in there. It's fully colored. What did you guys think? I think this is a perfect ending to those 4 issues. It kept me wanting more, and it was shocking. Didn't expect them to kill off Stanley Ipkiss. And definitely didn't expect for Kathy to be wearing the mask. Because if you're someone that didn't read the comics and you just come from knowing the movie, then you have a lot of surprises in here. There's a lot that they took from the comics and put in the movie But this is definitely something that is going to come out of left field. So if you guys dug this, leave a comment below. Have you read it before? Should I do more comic reviews of The Mask? I could totally go in through the follow-up issues. There's a lot of stuff with Calloway in it, a lot of stuff with Kathy. The Mask is not dead. The Mask lives on. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Hit that like button if you did like this video, and ring that bell for notifications so you know when we're going live with streams. Thanks everybody, we will see you next time. Hey guys, have you heard of Magic Cop? This is the comic book that we're making at Zade Comics. It is live right now on Indiegogo. It is that Miami Vice feel mixed with monsters and magic. 88 pages, fully colored graphic novel. And be sure to pick up that ash can that comes with it. It's going to have a bunch of concept art and a 12-page pilot issue. So check it out. We're fully funded. That means if you back it, you're definitely going to get this book. And we're heading on for the stretch goals. So help us out to get there. Thanks, everybody. Did you guys know that Brandon Diaz, the artist of Magic Cop, has his very own Patreon page? You guys can head on over there and pledge for either $5 or $8 a month, and you get these beautiful digitally painted pictures by Brandon. He does one a week for all of his members. So head on over there, check it out.